creepers. Hello, YouTube. How's everyone doing today? So, I know I've been away for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks since my last video, and I wanted to make sure I had all my facts before I made this video. So, this video is actually about my snug piercing and why I no longer have it. I think my last video was of me talking about the fresh new piercings I got, which was the snug piercing and my forward helix and my floating helix piercing. I still have the floating helix. I'm happy with that. However, my snug piercing really got infected, and to be honest with you, I am not exactly sure how or why. I'm not really sure. But I will tell you what happened step by step. So, I got the piercings April 8th, which was a Monday. So this year was done first with the snug, and then this year was done for the floating helix. So, I go to the shop, I get them done. My piercer is like, okay, the snug piercing is known to swell, blah, blah, blah. So just make sure you clean it and take care of it. So I'm like, okay. I took precautions. I even made sure I didn't sleep on it. I had a travel pillow I was sleeping on, stuff like that. Now, the other thing is, I'm not blaming the piercer. I'm not blaming the shop. I'm not blaming anything. However, I probably will not go back to the shop that I got it done. Now, a lot of things are, you want to make sure that you are safe when you are getting a piercing or a tattoo or any type of form of body modification. Now, I probably will not go back for a few reasons to the shop. However, I don't think it's their fault. We don't know. We don't know where it came from, whatever. So, I'm going to tell you my story. So, however, that day I got the snug piercing, the floating helix. I changed my rook jewelry, and I changed my cartilage jewelry, my original cartilage, to a horseshoe with 2 diamond balls, which is no longer in my ear as well. So we're going to get to all of that. So I got the piercing on April 8th. It was, it was a fresh piercing. There was some swelling, some redness, stuff like that. By that Wednesday, so April 10th, my ear swelled up 3 times the size. And I thought that was really abnormal because usually when you get a piercing, it is known to swell. Swelling happens with piercings, tattoos. But it was just very abnormal. It was a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. And then I want to say by that Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even Friday, I noticed that it was starting to get really red. It was really swollen. Like, literally, it looked like I had cauliflower ear. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, my ear was red, puffy, and swollen. This whole part of my ear, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because we're on video, but my whole ear was really swollen. The whole rook area and then all the way down was really swollen. I'll even show you on this here. So, this part right here, which is your rook, all of this was swollen, and it was 3 times its size. And I was like, okay, that's no problem. It's probably just a new piercing. It happens. It swells. It gets red when you first get it. It was also throbbing off and on. And then, literally by Saturday, I was at work, working 10 to 4. My ear was just really red, really big, and really swollen, and really irritated. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I'm going to do sea salt soaks, and I'm going to clean it, do sea salt soaks, and I'm going to make sure I really just take care of it. So the other thing is because both my parents are nurses, my dad was a nurse, and my mom is a nurse. My dad was an LPN. He doesn't do it anymore, but he was. He's taught me about signs of infection growing up. So one of the signs of infection is when you feel heat on your piercing or it hurts really bad. I would wash my hands before I touched my piercing, and I would gently tap on the area that was red, and it wasn't painful. Like, I didn't understand. It wasn't painful. It was red, it was swollen, but it wasn't painful. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel any heat, I don't feel anything. I'm gonna just assume it's a fresh piercing. I'm gonna assume it's just that. So literally, you know, by Saturday night, I've only had the piercing for about 5 days. I hated how it looked. I hated how swollen it was. Literally, I have the jewelry, and the best way to explain is that my ear was so swollen that part of the balls were like embedded in my ear. Let me at least get you the jewelry to show you. I think now that it makes kind of a little bit of sense. I think the jewelry may have been too small. Where'd it go? There it is. I think the jewelry was also too small for my ear. So this is the jewelry I had. I don't know the millimeters or the sizing of it, but that's the jewelry that was in my snug piercing. Now, when I tell you that this was in my ear, you could only literally see half of the ball, meaning that it was swelling so bad that the jewelry was being embedded into my ear, which is not good. So by Saturday, which is 5 days after I got the piercing, I hated how it looked. My ear looked really swollen. It was red. It was irritated, and it was like a balloon. It was like cauliflower ear. So I washed my hands when I got home. It was like midnight. I put some gloves on, and I just take the piercing out. So basically, I took the jewelry out, and I thought, well, this I can have it heal and get it, and have it heal and get it again if I wanted to. So literally, I took it out Saturday night. By Sunday, it was still swollen, still red, still very irritated. And my dad noticed it. And he's like, "Whoa, your ear is like really like screwed up." And I was like, ugh. So we went back to the piercer where I got it done. My piercer wasn't there, but they have like a secretary slash person who also does ear piercings, like standard low piercings. And she's like, "Oh, the swelling will go down." Now, obviously, as much as I wanted to believe that the swelling would go down on its own, I wasn't trusting what this person was saying, only because I didn't really know her too well. But she was like, "Oh, just keep icing it, keep taking ibuprofen, and it will go down." Well, by Monday, it wasn't even remotely close to even going down. And I understand it's not going to happen in one shot. It's going to take time. But by Monday, it was not better. It wasn't even remotely even showing signs that it was getting better. So I went to the walk-in clinic, and I had them look at my ear, and the doctor swabbed my ear, and she said, "You have a staph infection in your ear." Now I don't know how that happened. It could have happened from many different ways, places. So I'm not gonna blame the piercer for that happening. However, I will blame him for, being stupid and being like, "Oh yeah, the swelling went on." But basically, I somehow got an infection in my fresh snug piercing, and that's what led to the infection. Now, the person. Sorry, my notes are just. So when I went to the walk-in, they gave me two different kinds of antibiotics, a pill and an ointment. I have the ointment on my ear. I just finished the pill maybe a couple days ago. And I went to my doctor, and they looked at it, and they were like, "Listen, you have a staph infection. You need to make sure your hands are clean. You need to make sure you need to make sure you are taking infection control." And I was just so stumped because I was like, "How the hell did I get a staph infection in my ear? Like, how the hell did this happen?" And it was really scary. I've learned a lot. I actually, I just went to my doctor today for a follow-up appointment because they were like, "Okay, well, we want you to come back in a week, and we want to see how your ear's doing." So basically, the redness is gone. It was draining. It was pussy. It was draining. It's no longer draining now. It's going back to normal. It still is swollen, but it's not as bad. It's just a little swollen. And we're on the ointment, and I'm going for a follow-up. I'm gonna check up on it again with my doctor when I see her in a few months. Now, I don't want to blame the piercer because I don't think it was the piercer's fault. I will also mention when I started taking the antibiotics and started putting the lotion or the ointment on it, I went to another piercer. One that I've been to once before. He changed my industrial bar for me, and he was really nice and he was really chill about it and stuff like that. And I asked him his opinion as to what happened, and God, my nose is itchy. So I asked him. He's like, "Well, I don't want to, be negative about it, but it looks like it was." He said the first thing was it was pierced too high to be a snug, which is okay. That makes a lot of sense. He also said that our first instinct is to blame where we got it done, but in reality, is there's a lot of different factors. You can snag it when you're sleeping. You can snag it when you're awake. You move your arm. You move your arm like that. You can snag it. Whatever the case may be. And he said, "Listen, just do what your doctor says. If you want it again, I'll do it, and we'll wait till like June or July." Now, I'm cool with that. He wasn't pushy about it. He was just like, if you want it again, come see me and we'll get it done. Just wait a few months, whatever. So when I went to the doctor today, she looked at my ear. She said if there's any more redness, puffiness, swelling, whatever, make sure you go get help. Go to the ER, which didn't get that bad, thank goodness. And she looked at my ear today, and she's like, "Okay, you're doing fine. Your ear is a lot better than what it was last week." And I said, "Okay." So I did talk to her because I really feel as though certain things are very important. And obviously, I asked her if I decide in the future that I want to get another piercing or piercings, can I still do that? She said, "You can do it, but not for a while." She said, "I want you to wait at least between 3 and 4 months before you get another piercing. The longer you wait, the better." So by this time, it's April. So by the 3 month mark, it will be July. Maybe I might do in July. I might even wait till August. I would like to do it if I can before the haunted house I work at, just because we're in the wilderness and you don't know what the hell you're touching and you're touching it. If not, I'll wait till after I work at the haunted house, and I'll wait till like November or end of October to get it done. I have to wait and see how it plays out. She said she'll give me the clear before I can get anything done, but she said please wait at least 3 to 4 months. So if that's the case, it'll be July by that time. So what I'll do is I'll wait until July, maybe August to get it done again. However, I am not going to the shop that I was going to. I'm going to go to this guy in West Haven because he was very knowledgeable. He knew his stuff. So I'm going to go to him. And the other reason why I'm probably not going to go back to these piercers ever again is because their jewelry is just garbage. Like it's just complete shit. I'll give it as well. I had a industrial bar, which I no longer have in because the other guy from West Haven changed that for me. Thank goodness. And it looked like a screw. It was supposed to look like a screw. So it was the bar, and then the top, and then the bottom looked like a screw. So, the screw part, not the bar part that's in my ear, but the top and the bottom that looked like a screw. It was very cheaply made. It didn't turn my whole ear green, but there was like a little ring where it rested on my ear, and it looked green, and it like broke, and it was just like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm probably not going to go back to where I was going just because the jewelry they use is really cheap, and after this experience, I probably will not go back to them in general. I'll probably go to the other guy in West Haven, like I mentioned, and I've learned a lesson, and I'm so glad that it was caught early. We're treating it. It's by the looks of it, it's going away, so I'm pretty happy about that. The best thing I could say is, even if you do the precautions of getting a piercing, like they wash their hands, they use a needle, they don't use a gun, they clean the area, they clean the jewelry, you're still prone to getting infections because when you get a fresh piercing and or tattoo, it is like an open wound, and you need to take care of it. Per se, after this, I probably will get the snug piercing again, but I'm gonna go to the other guy, and after that, I'm gonna call it with piercings. I had 18, now I have 17 piercings. I want one more. I want the one more, so I'm gonna wait a few months to get it healed, and then I'm gonna try it again. And I'm gonna wait at least a good few months. I'm gonna not go back to where I was going because you need to do your research. I did my research and I found my original piercer and everything was fine. They did several piercings on me and nothing ever happened, but this time was kind of serious. And like I said, I don't know if it came from them or somewhere else. But I can change that now, and I can, you know, obviously go somewhere else and wait for it to be healed and stuff like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. So learn from my mistake, guys. Even the most experienced people with piercings still can get an infection here or there. And you know, the other thing is, like I said, when it was infected, I was checking it out. I was looking at it. It was red, but it wasn't warm. It wasn't hot. And my dad's a nurse too, so he was looking at it and he's like, "It doesn't feel warm. Like it doesn't feel hot." So this infection like really stumped us because it was just like it wasn't showing a lot of the main signs of infection. I thought it was just a healing piercing. Nope, it was an infection, and it was just interesting because it wasn't hot. Like it wasn't radiating heat. It wasn't warm. So I literally it was an infection, but it was disguising itself literally as a new piercing. So with that being said, I'm gonna wait at least 3 or 4 months, maybe even 5 months, and I'll get it again in August or September. Who knows what's gonna happen? You never know. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Please watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Learn from me. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm pierced up. I have like 17 piercings and I still got this somehow. Do I feel bad that this happened to me? Yeah, I do, because I feel as though I could have done something more to prevent it. Although I cleaned it 3 times a day as instructed. I made sure it was clean. I made sure I took care of it. I made sure I did everything I possibly could. And I made the decision to take out the jewelry and all this stuff. So I did what I possibly could have to make sure this shit was clean and it was taken care of, but it just doesn't work. But I still have my floating helixes, so I'm pretty happy with that. But yes, I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. Actually, let me know if you ever had a piercing that got infected. Any piercing, face piercing, body piercing, microdermals. Let me know, and I'll see you guys in my next video. All right, bye guys.